Well, I'm glad you're all here. I'm glad to be here. I am happy to have another full conference. It's enjoyable when everyone comes in and hangs out. About a quarter of you have been here for the last 3 days. So if it seems like other people know each other better than you, it's like they like talking and everything. That's because a quarter of them have spent the last 3 days together. If you want to talk to people, talk to them. This is our 23rd conference, and I can tell you that every single person here had a first time coming, and they were a little stressed that they wouldn't have any friends, and 3 days later they did. So don't worry about it. That's just the way it works. If you've been to one of these conferences before, you kind of know how everything works, and you've probably seen my slide deck like multiple times because I don't change it between, well, a little bit. So let's get started. First, I don't do this alone. I have a great team. Ben, wave your hand. Prime Image Media folks in the back have been recording these since the very first one that we've done. That's where all the videos go. So if you present up here or you fall asleep during a presentation, they will all be available on YouTube, probably about a week, 10 days. Well, that's not Ben's fault. Ben gets them to us within days. We have to get them all published. Part of that is also your fault, because if you're presenting and you don't get us your slide deck, then we have to like link them up before we get them posted. So if you present either to Matthew or Keith, send us your information. Fernay, wave your hand. Fernay's like the heart of this whole community, so we love Fernay. Sam's probably still working outside, but Tani, raise your hand. Tani, and she has a whole team of volunteers who take care of the volunteerish stuff, and we're glad that they're here. But mostly it's to you. About a quarter of you will be up here speaking. So that's why we do this. It gives you a chance to come and share what you know with everyone else. And I've said this every single time. It's about the people. That's really what we're here for. It's also about the tech because we really like tech, but it's the people who like the tech that's there. If you're here from a vendor, wonderful, I don't care. I care about you. And I've seen people change vendor roles, and that's how life moves on. So we try to minimize any vendor-on-vendor violence. We're 10% larger, and for the last 10 years, every conference we've held is about 10% bigger. We try to cap it, and as you can see by the crowds, all you guys standing at the back, there are seats. There's a seat for everyone. You just might not want to sit next to someone. I know, Robert. If you need to, we can bring seats and put them in the back for you. We had 5 boot camp classes the last 3 days. We have 6. There's one right here, Robert, just for you. We have 6 deep dives. And deep dives, if you haven't been here before, are at the end of today, about 3 o'clock or so, we will break and you will split into 6 different groups. And each group will go and have a deep dive into a topic. It could be those in this room are going to be doing Wi-Fi 7. We have a WMPi. We have an automation lab. There's different focuses. Tomorrow afternoon, you'll finish the last 3 hours of your deep dive. So we've basically taken a 1-day, 6-hour class and split it between the days. So you signed this no harassment policy before. Don't push me on this. We've kicked people out, and there are people who have been banned and can never come back. It's like, sorry, if you do stupid things, then you deserve to get stupid answers. So one of those is, I've never banned anyone for this, but we don't take questions. So even if you're sitting right here and it feels like the presenter's talking directly to you, do not ask him a question. Don't interrupt. The reason for this is we get way more views on the YouTube channel than we have live here. That's also our audience, and it's rude to interrupt a presenter. You have lots and lots of time in the next 3 days to talk to them and ask them questions. Most presenters would love if you ask questions. That's fantastic. Just don't do it when there's hundreds of other people waiting for you to get your question answered because you just had to know right now. We've also found that the majority, we actually did start doing questions, and we had microphones that moved around. We even got some microphones we threw around. They were padded, kind of. And what we found was the majority of questions were something like, Mr. Speaker, I believe XYZ, big, long statement about what I believe. What do you think? That's not a question. That's you trying to get a hold of the microphone. If you want to get a hold of the microphone, we have an easy way to do it. Put in the call for presentation. Your presentation will go into a vote. The end of the voting, if people want to talk, hear you talk, you will get a chance to come up here and talk. It's not, I have a question kind of thing. For those of you who are presenting, they're in order on the slide, and you have one of these in your little bag. Additionally, we send an email with it, and it's going to be, and I'll try to schedule them as well and warn you, if it's your turn to present within the next half hour, go to the back of the room, and they will do what they're doing to Shettle right now, and they will put a microphone on you. It's over the ear. It takes a couple minutes to get set, so don't rush. Just be ready early. Especially when we get to the 10 talks, those will be coming really quick. So if you're not the next 10 talk or the next one, you're the third one down, go get mic'd up. And then it will make the transitions go so much quicker. We are trying something this year, first time, PassPoint. Who started using PassPoint? Like 10 years ago? And it's been a pain. I have to admit it. I've wanted it for a long time. I really believe public Wi-Fi should be fast, free, and frictionless, but I'd also like it to be secure. And it hasn't been. But with PassPoint, we can. So we're running 2 different PassPoints here. One is with Open Roaming and the Wireless Broadband Alliance. Send a link, you went out, you got a profile. If you have that profile, you should just connect automatically. We're also doing it with American Bandwidth. We have a separate SSID with that. It's also using PassPoint. It's using SIM authentication. So for those of you who are from the US with an AT&T or T-Mobile, you should just also authenticate. Or if you got a Ameriband profile. Either one of those 2 ways should be working. The goal is to see how it works. We spent the last 3 days finding a lot of ways it doesn't work. And thank you to the boot camp attendees who were like, we need to go through these. Though we were working with some of the great technicians from both Ameriband and the WBA, we had to tweak little things to get it to work. Hopefully that process, by having people here who could actually understand what was going on and ask exact questions and say, how come the cert only had WPA2? Is that the reason I'm not getting in, but it's a WPA3? Most of our users wouldn't be able to ask those kind of questions. So we're really grateful that that's happening. So PassPoint Open Roaming, PassPoint Ameriband, they're both available. If you can't get on those, it could be one of a couple reasons. One, you went up to your room, you joined NH City, and you came down here, and there's also NH City, so you just connected to NH City. You understand that. If you want to attempt this, and you have been on NH City, just go and say, you can forget it, but you could also just turn off auto join, and then it should allow this to happen. Okay, so here's the agenda. You've seen it. It doesn't change. It changes a little bit every year. We have a full day, and this just goes to the day. In a minute, I'll show you the night. We have went this cycle to 30-minute talks. We had twice as many people want to speak as we have slots. So we made the slots smaller. And what we've learned over the last 10 years is if you're efficient, you can give a 1-hour talk in 30 minutes. You can give a 30-minute talk in 10 minutes. You just have to throw out the junk, like the introduction. Hi, my name is. Or let me explain to you what BYD. And then you have 3 slides on what BYOD is. We all know. And if you want an introduction slide about you, It doesn't take more than 3 or 4 seconds on the screen for people to read. Also, if you're reading your slides, just don't. So here's our agenda. We'll follow it pretty religiously. It is, though, flexible. Many presenters come up and say, hey, I can't do today, but I can do tomorrow. Okay, I will adapt. So this is printed, and you have a digital copy, and it might change. So just be flexible. Here's a list of all the presenters. We have 30-minute presenters, 20-minute presenters, and 10-minute presenters. There is no judgment there other than the 30s got more votes than the 20s who got more votes than the 10s. But there's another double this who didn't get to talk. So be very cognizant of your time. Right up front here, there'll be a little timer that you can see. Up in front of me is a confidence monitor. You will see on the confidence monitor exactly what everyone else sees. You will not see your presentation notes. For those of you who think presentation notes are cool, you will not see your presentation notes. And we don't want you to be frustrated, so I'm just letting you know. This is what they see, so practice. We have these 6 deep dives. If you want to look there, WMPI is the only kind of weird one. Well, no, it's not weird. It's just WMPI and the automation lab aren't in this building. You have to go over to where the red bar is, and there's kind of an elevator shaft looking thing, and you get in the elevator and it slides up the hill up to the upper hotel. And in the upper hotel, you get off the elevator, you walk through, you go up one set of stairs, and there is Brussels 1, 2, 3, and 4. WMPI is in 1, 2, 3. And the automation lab is in 4. So if you're in those 2, you will need to add some time to your day and ride up. It's kind of pretty, too, on your way up. For the other ones, the Wi-Fi 7 masterclass by Dr. Srikanth is in here. Well, actually there, 1 and 2. So when we break, there's a break right before the 3 o'clock time frame. When we break, go to your rooms, drop whatever you want, but be back by 3 o'clock into your associated room. Hamana is in Cairo 1, which is if you go to the registration desk, you just go to the right side, there's a little hall, and just follow that hall up to Cairo 1 and 2. And Madrid is kind of a sneaky little place. You look like you're going to Cairo, but as soon as you turn the corner, there's this green wall of marble. You turn down a little hall, and you think you're going to the bathroom. But there's Madrid is right there. There's signs too, so don't worry about it too much. Well, in the evening, since we don't have any vendor-sponsored talks, we don't have any vendor-sponsored booths, there's no logos or anything around, we allow the vendors in the evening to tempt you to come to see them. They want to talk to you. They would like to sell you stuff. They would like to share whatever their cool stuff they have. So in the evening, we don't charge them, but since we bought the space in the hotel, we'll gladly let them have it. There will be in Zurich 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 in the evenings sessions with vendors. You are not required to attend, but if you want to, they usually feed you beer and food and usually have some sort of giveaways to get you to really want to come to theirs. Additionally, at the end, we're trying a new thing this year. Actually, we tried it last year with Shuttle. We're having a video testing and a Wi-Fi 7 testing later in the evening, and those are just, if you're interested in how many Zoom calls you can put on a network, Jiri has a test set up, and bring your devices, and we'll see how much hard work we can do. Phil has one. Bring your Wi-Fi 7 devices and we'll test that. And then tomorrow night, Shuttle has one showing off really cool spec-an stuff. And then we have our party in the breakfast room with DJs and fun. Okay. If you want to have a friend, be a friend. And yes, I'm channeling my father figure. When your kids come home and say, no one talked to me at school. Well, talk to them. Did you talk to anyone? Well, no, they didn't invite me in. So, I said this every year as well. If you're standing in a group talking with friends, somebody leave a shoulder open so someone can feel comfortable coming in, because they'll come and cry if they didn't get asked to come in and talk. If you're standing in a circle and you've got all your shoulders, someone, if you want to talk to that group and you think they're cool, grab a shoulder, open them up, and get yourself in. I'm not blaming either side. I'm just saying take advantage of all these really cool people here who like all the same things you like. This is our 23rd one. We've had them all around the world. We've got another, anyone speaks Spanish? We've gone to Mexico in 2 weeks? 2 weeks. Everyone who's presenting, I've already sent you things you probably haven't read about how to present. If you're a good presenter, fantastic. Present however you like. I don't care. I sent the same list a couple years ago to JJ Manella, and she's like, that's not how I present. I went, I don't care. You present fantastic. Present whatever you want. Just if you're thinking what will work and what will not work, we have over 1,000 videos up on YouTube, and I can tell you what gets views and what doesn't get views. And what gets views and makes people happy here is if you don't dawdle. Just jump straight in. I know it's backwards for what you learned in school. Thesis statement, support, conclusion. And your English teacher or your Chinese teacher or your German teacher, whoever taught you how to write that way, is wrong. People don't have that kind of attention span. Conclusion, shock value, support. And then if they have any questions of how you did it, they can talk to you later. You don't have to build up to the big bang. People won't be listening to that. Anyway, we talked through all those. Someone asked me once, how do I get, like, not just up on the stage, how do I engage with the community? I see these people and they all talk and they know each other and they've been coming back. I want to be in that group. I can tell you 100%, all those people who are in that group that you think you want to be part of went through something like this process. Mark's over here. Yep, that was me, just a couple years ago. And now I'm in the cool group. Are you on floor 7? Because that's the cool floor. Yes, just as a little number there. So if you want to get involved, just get engaged with the community. I'm not going to go through all these steps, but just engage. Get started. Have a question. Write an answer. Share information. And people will think you're an expert. It's amazing how that works. If you want to contact me, I don't care. Doesn't matter. Oh, so this is our conference. We're going to start off. And this morning, straight up, and they should be already mic'd up. This is what happens when you get old, Jim. You have to wear glasses. So Jim's up. Peter McKenzie. Peter, are you mic'd?
Yeah, he's mic'd and practicing.
Oh, okay. With his mic on. And then Shuttle. After Shuttle, we'll take a little break. To get people to return after the break, we give away stuff. So, but the stuff we give away, some of it's pretty cool. Some of it's not. But if you want to get it, you have to be in the room. So I'll draw your name, and if your name is drawn and you're not here, everyone will tease you and say, it was really a MacBook Pro and you didn't get it. It's never a MacBook Pro, but you still wouldn't have got it anyway. So, Jim, are you ready? Let's just get started.